So our season is finally over. It finally came to an end with us losing in the Eastern Conference Finals. We really overachieved for this past NBA season. How did we even make it that far, bro? To the Eastern Conference Finals? I have no idea, but I was so upset because we lost to the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat doesn't have Jimmy Butler, and they didn't have Jimmy Butler for the entire playoff series in the East Finals, and we basically had our whole squad and still took an L. But we gotta shift our focus, I should say, to the offseason because we're about to make that move for Donovan Mitchell. But before I continue, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, I'll give you that second right now. There we go. Let's get things rolling. This past NBA season was a success nonetheless. Like, just look at this. Look at the playoff stats. I didn't show you guys this in the last episode, but we had Jaden Hardy averaging 13, RJ Barrett averaging 18. Look at the rest of the squad in the postseason doing their thing. This was just literally a great playoff run, bro. Great playoff run. We got players like Cam Reddish boosting his trade value, 10 points per game in the postseason. Julius Randle came alive as well. This is what I like to see, bro. During the playoffs, RJ and Julius Randle stepped it up. And Mitchell Robinson did his thing too as well, almost averaging a double-double. I mean, it speaks for itself. RJ averaged 18 in the postseason, but during the regular season, he averaged 17. Mitchell Robinson, although he averaged slightly less points per game, he made up for it with the rebounds. Almost 10 rebounds per game. That's what I want to see. Let's see. Jaden Hardy really stepped it up in the postseason. 100% from the free throw line. 13 points compared to during the season. Only averaging 11 points per game. That's what I want to see. Julius Randle, he stepped it up. He was averaging 13, well, basically 14 in the regular season. 15 in the postseason. This is what you want to see from your players, bro. They literally took the next step during the postseason. That's really what we want to see. Amazing season. And it's funny because in real life, it's the Timberwolves versus the Grizzlies in the postseason in the first round. And we have this in the Western Conference Finals here on 2K. That's crazy. It's basically the same rosters too, based on what I'm seeing. Anthony Edwards, Malik Beasley, D'Lo, my son D'Angelo Russell, underrated. Anyways, let's simulate that. Of course, the Grizzlies make it to the finals against the Miami Heat with no Jimmy Butler. I expect the Grizzlies to win. Come on. There we go. So simulating the postseason, of course, Memphis won the championship. Ja Morant, finals MVP, averaging 32 points per game. Amazing. Off-season time, player retirements. Let's see who retired. Chris Paul retired. Okay, Lou Will, Thad Young, Mike Conley, Jeff Green. Mike Conley, oh, he was in the league for 15 years. Honestly, it didn't seem like that long. I'm not surprised Taj Gibson is retiring, but Derrick Rose, he told me before the postseason started that he was going to give us another year. What happened? Probably because he got injured again, this time with a stomach virus. Ah, man, Derrick Rose really retiring. He said he was going to stay. I thought he was going to stay another year. I wish I could actually override the retired player, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let him retire. Let's see if Coach Pop retires. No, he doesn't, so nobody really cares. Hall of Fame inductees, Chris Paul, so no Derrick Rose. Wow, so Chris Paul got his jersey retired, but not Derrick Rose. That's insane. Derrick Rose should have had his jersey retired by at least the Chicago Bulls. I'm just saying. Anyways, moving on to the draft lottery. We are projected to have the 6th overall pick thanks to the Charlotte Hornets. We traded for that pick. Skipping to the lottery results. Okay, we got the 7th overall pick in this year's NBA draft. Do we have any other picks? Via Dallas, we have the 29th overall pick, and our pick fell to number 21. So we have 3 first rounders. In 2K23, they need to make this a little bit more better in terms of showing, not really the stats, but I just feel like they gotta change something about the My Staff. But we signing the best available. We're signing the best available, I should say. And whoever created Scott Perry as the assistant GM, that's hilarious. Because I didn't do that. Remember, I started a save scenario, so that person was already created. But I am keeping the staff basically the same. The only thing we should really care about is the head coach. We're keeping Coach Thibs. Next season, he should be able to develop our players. Because this season, he did a good job. He got us to the East Finals. I really cannot complain about that. If you got us to the East Finals, I can't fire you, bro, as a head coach. I just can't do it. As for the rest of the staff, I basically kept it the same. Not really much to look at here. Don't know much about this year's draft class except for Imani Bates. I heard about him. Amari Bailey, I heard slight stuff about him. I'm not really too sure if it is who I'm really thinking about. But nonetheless, the only person I really know about is Imani Bates. He's in this draft class. But we're not going to be going after any of these players. We're not going to be drafting any of these players. Why? Because we're about to make our deal for Donovan Mitchell during the NBA draft. First overall pick, the Chicago Bulls choose Victor Wembanyama. I can't pronounce that last name at all. Derek Lively goes number 2 to OKC. I heard about Victor. I definitely heard about him. Scoot goes number 3. Keontae George goes to the Los Angeles Clippers. Let's see. New Orleans got the 5th pick. They got Whitehead. Haven't heard about him. I do not know any of these guys, bro, except for Victor so far. And Carson Wallace, don't know who he is. So now it's time for us to choose our pick in this year's NBA draft. Of course, I'm not going to choose anyone. I thought I was going to at least get some trade offers. No trade offers? Alright, so now it's time to make our move for Donovan Mitchell. Of course, this first rounder is going to be included in the deal. Let's take a look at their roster. It's pretty realistic that we are making this deal for Donovan Mitchell. He's 26, going on 27. And on top of that, the Utah Jazz got a lot of older players. A lot of their players are older, so it really makes sense that they move towards a rebuild, because in all honesty, this team is not going to get them nowhere. Doesn't matter who they get on their squad. Utah Jazz is done. And in real life too, they got to rebuild. So far, we got Julius Randle and Cam Reddish. I got to include those 2 players in the deal. Julius Randle for obvious reasons. We got to trade him. Cam Reddish because they need that young wing player, and I feel like in a deal for Donovan Mitchell, we have to give up some younger talent. They're doing a rebuild, so of course, they're going to need younger talent. The only thing is that we don't have much other younger talent that we could include in the deal except for Mitchell Robinson and Jaden Hardy. And I know you guys probably not going to want me to do this. I'm going to have to include Jaden Hardy. He really made a case primarily during the postseason where he averaged 13. I really don't want to trade Jaden Hardy, but I kind of have to. Kind of have to put him in this deal. So they get a young 2 guard, a young wing player, and Julius Randle, a vet that they could build around as well. I feel like these 3 players should suffice. Now in terms of picks, right? I'm going to give them the 7th overall pick. Somebody told me not to trade more than 3 first rounders to make it realistic. And realistically, obviously, I'm going to have to give up this 7th overall pick. I can't keep that. And in terms of another pick, probably a 2nd rounder would do them justice. So I feel like this deal should suffice. Let's make the deal. Of course, it wasn't going to go through. I had a feeling it wasn't going to go through, but let's see if maybe I add our first rounder from the Dallas Mavericks. Maybe we could get that to work. Let's go ahead and make this deal for Donovan Mitchell. Welcome to... They still denied it. This might be a little bit harder than I expected. Alright, so... maybe they want our pick. Maybe they want our 21st overall pick. I might have to throw that in there. So I'll go ahead and throw that in there. I feel like this should suffice. This is me giving up a lot for Donovan Mitchell. I feel like I'm giving up a lot. Oh, it went through. I thought they were going to deny it. But ladies and gentlemen, the deal went through. Welcome to the squad, Donovan Mitchell. We actually pulled it off. Tell me what you guys think about that trade. Did I give up too much? Did I do too much? Or did I give up too little? I feel like that's a pretty realistic deal. A young 2 guard, a young small forward, Julius Randle, and some first rounders. They get another young small forward, another young wing player. So the rebuild is looking pretty good for the Utah Jazz, if you ask me. I don't know who this dude is, but you guys can let me know in the comment section below. Let's take a look at the Utah Jazz roster real quick. Where they at? So the Utah Jazz, they got a lot more younger. And in terms of their expired contracts, I expect them not to re-sign a lot of the older players, if I'm being honest. But I feel like they have some nice young players to build around. I feel like it's a realistic deal, in my opinion. And they have some young talent to build around, bro. They're gonna do fine. They're really gonna do fine. But Julius Randle, we actually pulled the trigger on the Julius Randle deal. That's crazy. Jaden Hardy, we're definitely gonna miss having you on the squad. That one season that you had with us was lit, but you're gonna do good in Utah, bro. I could think of a team off the top of my head that might be able to use this first round. I'll go with the Houston Rockets. I don't want this first rounder, and I'm not going to use the second rounder. So trading it for 2 future second rounders from the Houston Rockets, a team that can use it, I feel like that's pretty realistic. The draft is done, and the Utah Jazz got a nice young wing player, 73 overall. We didn't get any rookies. We got Donovan Mitchell. Looking at the pending options, of course, I'm picking up the team options on everybody's contract because why wouldn't I? Like, really think about it. Why wouldn't I? So everybody, I'm bringing them back. Of course, those are young guys. We're going to have to pay them sooner or later. And in terms of the qualifying offers, I'll offer it to both RJ and Jericho Sims. Why not? If I could offer them that would give us a lot more financial flexibility, actually, if they accept the qualifying offer. So looking at our roster so far, quickly, Mitchell Robinson, McBride, Grimes, Donovan Mitchell, I'm liking the team. We have no small forwards. That really sucks. Maybe I could put McBride, maybe I could put Grimes or Abaji at the small forward position to come off the bench behind what's his name, RJ Barrett, and it would be lit. Abaji, oh, his overall spikes up that much. Okay, there we go. We can have him come off the bench behind RJ Barrett, and I feel like that's gonna work out. Let me edit the player real quick. I'm gonna make Abaji, let's see, secondary position, a shooting guard. So that works out. Actually works out. So we're about to head to free agency. We got some moves to make. Donovan Mitchell is really a Knick. Y'all know I can't let this happen, right? RJ Barrett prepared to accept an offer from the Charlotte Hornets. Of course, I'm not letting that happen. A 4-year max deal, of course. Of course, I'm matching the contract, bro. I'm not letting that happen. Definitely not letting that happen. In terms of everybody else that we signed, I'm not sure as of right now. All right, I'll get back to you guys after the 3rd day of the moratorium period. I'm still making some choices. So after the 3rd day of the free agency moratorium period, we got RJ Barrett back on a max deal. We're matching his contract. Next up, we got Jericho Sims on a 1-year deal. We're matching that. We got to bring him back. Then I got Daniel Oturu. So one thing that I wanted at the center position is 2 young centers. Since we no longer have Taj Gibson, we have 2 young centers. Next, I'm bringing back Frank Ntilikina, 3rd string point guard, because I'm not planning on giving him any playing time. Aaron Holiday, 3rd string, 2 guard. Right now, we have Donovan Mitchell, and then Grimes coming off the bench, and then Aaron Holiday. Thibault. I'm not sure how you guys are going to feel about this, but bringing him off the bench primarily for defensive purposes, because I feel like coming off the bench, we're going to have a lot of young guys that could score the basketball. Thibault, we're bringing him in for defensive purposes. Royce O'Neal, I don't know if I want to sign him as of right now because he is a bit older, but at the same time, we don't have any vets on the team really, and he could suffice for a vet, but I'm not going to bring him in as of right now. So we're not bringing in Royce O'Neal. Everybody else we are bringing in. So looking at our roster so far, I really like it. A lot of young talent on our team led by Donovan Mitchell and RJ Barrett. This is their team for years to come. Both of them, we got them locked down for a few years. So looking at the point guard position, quickly McBride, Frank Ntilikina. At the 2 guard, Aaron Holiday, Quentin Grimes, and last but not least, Donovan Mitchell. I feel like that's our guards are strong. RJ Barrett, Thibault, and Abaji at the small forward position. I really like that as well. The only thing that we got to worry about now is the power forward. We got to assign some power forwards. In terms of the center position, I feel like we're set. Oturu, Sims, and Mitchell Robinson. I feel like we're good with the center. So the only thing we're really missing is 2 backup power forwards, and we should be good. Huge fan of his game. Watch him play for the Boston Celtics. So we are getting Grant Williams. I'm just waiting for Robert Woodard to see if he signs a deal with us. He'll be a 3rd string guard. He averaged 15 with the Denver Nuggets last season, which is unbelievable. Like, really let that sink in. The Bucks have decided to make him an unrestricted. So was he on Denver or was he on the Bucks? I have no idea. Either way, we gotta see if we could get him on the squad as a 3rd stringer. Maybe I'll send him down to the G League, let him develop there. But we definitely gotta get him on the squad. So Simmons the next day. Oh, there we go. We got him. Let's go. Free agency is done. Player progression. Donovan Mitchell and RJ Barrett, they're up there, bro. But our young guys is getting better. That's the only thing I care about. Quentin Grimes, quickly. Definitely keeping those guys on the squad. Mitchell Robinson should have got a huge boost because we feature him in the offense. his stats, he should have been at least an 83 overall. In terms of the rest of the young guys, they're going up. Except for Frank Ntilikina for some reason. But he's a third string guard. I wanted to bring him back primarily for defensive reasons in case somebody gets injured. But the rest of our young guys are looking good. I'm really, really happy with this team. Let's sim past the Summer League so I could show you guys the roster. And look at this. What is this? Abaji, a season-ending injury during the Summer League. All right, let's go to the roster. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go position by position. But before I do, Abaji is healing from a season-ending injury that he got during the Summer League. Let that sink in. Woodard got a sore right knee out for the season. What's with these season-ending injuries? My injury sliders aren't all the way up, so I don't know what's up with all these season-ending injuries like that. Maybe by the time I simulate to the season, they're gonna heal from the injuries. I don't know. Anyways, looking at our roster, I feel like we did amazing during free agency. We got a lot of young guys, and next season I expect us to be in the postseason again. Donovan Mitchell, RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, that's our squad. Our prime duo is Donovan Mitchell and RJ Barrett. We got them locked down for years to come. Well, Donovan Mitchell for 2 more years. We're going to try to re-sign him, of course, though. But I'm really happy with this roster. So tell me what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. Do you guys agree with my trades and what we did during free agency? In my opinion, the only thing that might have been a little bit unrealistic is Thibault, picking him up. Maybe he would have re-signed with the 76ers in real life, but at the same time, probably is going to look to get paid during the offseason, in my opinion. But I feel like we didn't give up too much for Donovan Mitchell. It really made sense. And in the next episode, we're going to look at what happened during free agency, all the free agency signings, where those big names went in terms of, you know, the other players during free agency. We're going to take a look in the next episode, but I'm really happy with the roster after free agency and after we made the Donovan Mitchell trade. And next season, it's gonna be lit. I might play some games. I might play our first game for the NBA season just to see how we do, or I might watch it. I don't know yet. Leave a comment for me in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys thought. I feel like we're in a prime position right now. Good young team. It's lit, bro. It's really lit.